Ryan Milton from Functional Flex. We're in the Strength Cave office. We've been over that. So you guys, I've been getting a lot of requests today. I'm here to answer them. People have been asking me about contest preppage. Contest prepping. What do we do? How do we do it? What are we looking at? And a lot of people have been specifically wanting to know about the 4 to 6 weeks out timeline. So we're gonna go over that today, okay? I'm not gonna talk about specifically bikini figure, physique, bodybuilding, any of that. We're gonna do a general kind of overview of what's been going on, where you're at now, and where you're headed, because that's really what the prep is all about, okay? So contest prep, 6 to 4 weeks out from your show date. You should have already been prepping, okay? So you should already be well in. This should be the halfway point at about 6 weeks out for sure, at least. You need 12 to 16 weeks, you guys, for traditional contest prep. And if you're a serious competitor, you've been doing that a lot longer than that. You've been training all season long for these competitions, okay? So, but either way, at this mark, hopefully you've already been training for a certain amount of time. You've gotten into the groove. You've been working on your muscle development. You've been working on your proportions. You've already been paying attention to your diet. You've been doing these things. So we're at 6 to 4 weeks out now. So what's happening? We got to dial in for this competition that's coming in 4 to 6 weeks. So what that means is we're hopefully dieting down. We're doing some more cardio right now if we need to. The weight training is gonna stay mostly the same, but it's going to change closer to comp. So we're gonna go all the way up to comp day. So 6 weeks out, that's where you're gonna throw in some extra cardio if you need it, okay? So you should be assessing your physique every weekend. You should be doing measurements, pictures, etc. You got a coach, they should be telling you what's going on, what you're doing, blah, blah, all that stuff. You gotta have that, and you gotta be moving well along with that. Now, if you need extra cardio to burn fat, this is where it comes in 6 to 4 weeks out, okay? And this can be in the form of steady state, it can be in the form of HIIT training, anywhere from 2 to 5 days a week, depending on the person. This is all very individual, but this is where cardio is gonna come into play if you have extra fat that you need to burn and the diet's just not getting it done at the pace you wanna be comfortable with or the pace your coach wants for you. Okay, so that's where the cardio is gonna come in. The diets, the macros, right? Your macros should be dropping down, so you should be dieting down progressively. So we're talking about drops in calories, could be carbs, could be fats. Proteins are probably gonna stay about the same. They should stay about the same, but you're going to be dieting down further. And again, some people will not need to do that. I have people that go into comp with really high calories, really high macros, and look great, lean, and ready to go, and others that need to diet down a lot more and do a lot more cardio and things like that. It's all very individual, you guys, but basically we're closing in, and these two elements, this cardio and this macros or your diet, are going to be monitored and adapted each week up till comp day, okay? So we're at the 4 week out mark approximately here. Things are going to start to change a little bit with your training now, okay? So training has thus far been catered towards working on specific groups, trying to build muscle maybe, etc. But now we're already doing more cardio, we're dieting down, so there's no muscle building going to happen here in this phase. Now we need to work on burning fat. So what you're going to be doing with your training is a lot more supersets and giant sets. If you don't know what a superset is, it's basically you go from exercise A to exercise B, 0 rest, and then you can take a rest. Giant set is going to be 3 or more exercises together. There's also going to be some circuit training you guys will do. You might do some plyometrics. You might be doing some different, elements in your training. Basically, the idea is now in these sessions, we're doing higher reps, we're getting the body moving, we're keeping it burning, we're getting the cardiovascular to fire up while we're training with weights. So it's not just the same old kind of rep scheme anymore. It is constant motion, constant burning, and we're really trying to hone in on burning fat. Of course, you still want to be lifting the specific areas for your sport, okay? So you got to focus on those areas. You want to really train them and make sure they're dialing in exactly how you want, and that comes back to your weekly check-ins you should be doing, okay? So as you keep getting closer to comp, that's going to stay constant, you guys. Those 3 elements we're talking about. Supersets and all that in your training, you're going to keep those going all the way up until basically comp day. And for your cardio, it's going to be added or reduced depending on your progress as you go up. And your calories, your macros, those are going to be added or reduced depending on how you're looking as you come in. So all this is obviously very individualized, but I'm giving you guys a general overview here. So let's move right up to peak week, okay? The week everybody always panics about, everybody's always worried about, peak week. It's the easiest week of prep, you guys. The way that I coach, at least, it is the easiest week of prep. Now, there's a lot of people out there doing a lot of crazy things I don't agree with and I don't believe that are needed. I don't do any of those, so this is the easiest week for all my athletes. And basically, here's how peak week works, okay? So you're rolling into peak week, you got 3 days of training. So you're gonna do maybe an upper body day on Monday, a lower body day on Tuesday, and a full body day, circuit training, on a Wednesday. comps on Saturday, we're gonna take Thursday, we're gonna take Friday, and we're obviously gonna take Saturday off, and we're going to work on posing. So that's gonna be your pose, pose, pose. And now, you should have been posing already for the past 8 to 12 weeks. So that should have been part of the routine for sure, but these last few days are gonna be dedicated strictly to just posing. You can take walks, etc., but we're not doing cardio, we're not doing weight training, we're doing none of those things. We're going into the competition with ease, we're having a good time, we're really letting the body settle into where it needs to be. Now you're gonna hear a lot about things like carb loading, where people are gonna back carbs out of the diet early in the week and reintroduce them, try to pump up. You don't need to do that, you guys, and especially not if you're like in bikini or is figure, things like that. I mean, that's a kind of bodybuilder thing, and those are usually for people that are taking a lot of performance enhancing drugs, etc. You're also gonna hear about water depletion. No reason to do that. It makes you hold more water to do that. People think if you deplete water, you're going to have less water, thus you're going to look leaner. Not true. When you deplete water, your body holds more water. Keep your water the same, okay? Sodium intake, same thing, you guys. I don't know why people are playing with their sodium. It has zero benefit for most people. I mean, look at the real science of all these things, you guys. There's hardly anything. There's absolutely zero that shows that any of this works. So sodium manipulation, don't do it. Keep your sodium exactly where it was, you guys, okay? And I would recommend keeping your nutrition basically the same as you go. Don't introduce any new foods. Don't do anything crazy. Don't manipulate your carbs or anything else, because guess what happens, you guys? You've been training this way for so long. You've been doing the routines, you've been doing the posing, you've been doing the nutrition, you've been doing all that stuff. And you've gotten used to it. Your body's come into the being it should be right now for this competition stage. But then you want to throw a bunch of new stuff at it and create this unpredictability. Like if you load more carbs, what if you bloat up? What if you hold more water then? What if you do this, that, and everything else? You can't predict it. And the last thing you want in peak week is unpredictability. So peak week for me and all my athletes is very, very simple and very easy, because it's basically the same as what we've done for the last 4 weeks. I like to get people lean and ready where they're at stage physique before peak week happens, so they're happy, and the physique they have, they're happy with to what they want. It's not necessarily what the judges will want or what I think should be right. It's what they want. It's what the athletes want. And you get that, you keep that for 1 week, you do the comp, game over. You're there, you're done, you had a great time, you didn't do anything unhealthy or unsustainable. Another thing you're gonna hear a lot about is diuretics and things like that. Do not do that, you guys. Do not be trying to dehydrate yourself. Don't take shots of vodka in the morning and at night, and that's just bogus. There's no reason to be doing it. It's dangerous. It's dangerous to your health. It's gonna mess up your hormones. You're gonna have 6 months to 2 years of rebounding your hormones, trying to get back to normal after doing something crazy like that. So don't be doing that, okay? So you roll right into peak week, you go to comp day. What's comp day like? It's a little different, okay? Comp day, I don't have people eating full meals at once. I have them doing more of a grazing thing. So they're gonna bring the same foods, the same meals, but they're gonna eat them as needed in a manner that's smaller. So you're not gonna sit down and scarf a meal and bloat out your belly. You're gonna actually just eat as needed, a couple bites here and there as you go. Same with water intake. Water's not going to change, but you're not going to be pounding a ton. You don't want to be going to the bathroom and doing all this stuff 1,000 times a day when you're all done up for comp, okay? So we've rolled into that. You go do the show, you go have fun, you enjoy it, you've worked hard for it. It's a great process, a good time, and you are a winner no matter what. You step on the stage, everybody's a winner, okay? And you've done it, you've trained for it, you earned it. And then after, you go have your cheats or do whatever you're gonna do, right? Prep for the next one. But basically, you guys, we're looking at that, and it's not that crazy, right? It doesn't sound that complicated, right? It's maybe more cardio if you need it. Training's gonna be supersets and stuff like that, and your calories and your macros should be dieting down. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. And if there's anything else that you think needs to be done, it is probably bro science. I will say that now. There are so many people out there with bro science saying you gotta do this, that, and everything else. The only other thing I can even think about to a mild degree is if you have certain foods in your diet you know bloat you, like if you're allergic to dairy but you drink whey protein 500 times a day, etc. You might want to pull those out of your diet a couple weeks out from comp, okay? Because you're probably bloating yourself, creating some GI distress, all these other things. But other than that, you guys, it is fairly simple, fairly straightforward, and fairly easy to do. And that's going to be your 4 to 6 weeks out and rolling right into comp day prep mode. Now, one thing I advise everybody do if you're in that realm, if you're in the 4 to 6 weeks, you need to spend some time right here. You need to spend extra time on the mindset. And what I'm talking about about is taking time every day to relax yourself. You're training real hard right now. You're dieting down, which is a stressor to your body. You have all your other life chores. You might have kids, etc., careers, all this stuff, and that can be a lot of stress on the body. So what you got to do is make sure you have time every single day where you wind down and you really let the body relax, you let the mind relax. That can be in the form of many different things. You can read, for example. You can journal. Some people like getting their thoughts out on paper. It helps a lot. You can also do meditation. You can do yoga. You can do these types of things that are just going to let your brain reset. That, for all my competitors, is pretty much mandatory work at 4 weeks out. And hopefully before that even, because we really got to dial in that mindset, get everything set, and make sure stress levels are low, because when you have high stress, the body becomes unpredictable again, and we don't want that in comp prep. You don't want to be stressed in general, so you might as well take care of it, own up. And that should be done at about 15 minutes to a half hour every single day. Take a walk, do whatever it takes to get out there and let the mindset rest. Now, go out there, you guys, and have a great time with your contest prep. Dial in, get ready, enjoy every step of that process.